Hey friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Rachel. I lost 50 pounds, over 50, honestly way over 50, over 55 even. And walking was the only exercise I used to lose my weight. Not that it was the only time I ever moved or exercised, but it was my primary exercise. And not just mine. I have multiple friends, some that have lost as much as 150 pounds or more just through walking as their main exercise combined with a calorie deficit. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the physical and mental benefits of walking and why it works so well along with a calorie deficit as the best exercise for weight loss and long-term weight control. So once I committed to my weight loss journey, although I did have a pretty regular habit of walking, I committed to doing it every single day for an hour. Now that may sound like a lot of time to you, and it is, but that was what worked for me, and that's what I was committed to doing. But as I'll explain in a few moments, you don't need to go that far, and you definitely don't need to go super fast. I never did, and I still don't. For me, on a typical day, I'll go 3.5 to 4 miles, and 4 miles is a really good day. Same with all my Body Slims friends. They don't necessarily go super fast. It's just that they go regularly every single day. This is one habit that if you can commit to developing this habit, it will pay dividends and bless you throughout your entire life. One thing I like to say is that if you can walk, you can run your life. Like, think of all the things we do each day. We don't have to run to do our dishes or do our laundry or make our meals or take care of our family or get to our errands and appointments and our shopping and our million things that all of us do. We always have a lot going on, a lot that we're doing for ourselves, our families, and others. So walking is just the best thing I could ever recommend to you as far as, if you're going to do one thing for the rest of your life, let it be walking. So if you're already tuning me out thinking there's no way I'm going to walk an hour a day, let's just back it up. So you do not have to do an hour a day. That is the Body Slims program, and that is what I committed to and what I still try to practice. But you can do whatever you can do. And if you have to break that up into 2 parts, you could totally do that. The reason that in Body Slims they tell you to just go that whole hour no matter what is because walking gets you into a fat burning zone. It takes a little while to get there, but that is okay. If we go for perfection and then we're like, I can't go an hour, so I'm not going, then we get in no walking. So I say, do what you can. Like, I think a really reasonable goal is to do a 5K every day to build up to that. And if you've got the whole hour and you can do it, do that. But just commit that you're going to develop a walking habit and do whatever it takes. A really common obstacle that I see is people tell themselves, as I used to, if I can't do it in the morning, I just don't do it. And when you tell yourself a story like that, your brain just turns off and stops thinking about, oh, well, when else could I do it? What else could I do today? At some point, I realized I was telling myself, oh, if I don't get my exercise done in the morning, I don't get it done. Well, you can imagine how that story ended. If I didn't get it done in the morning, I didn't get it done. So I started thinking more creatively, like, okay, I can't do it this morning, so when and how can I do it? Can I get on the treadmill? Can I go to the gym? Can I walk the dog after dinner? What else can I do? So make the commitment and then figure out the how to make it work. Treat this commitment like your job. You wouldn't call your boss and say, oh, my kids kept me up, I can't come into work today. Make it the same with this commitment to yourself, but not in the hardcore, I gotta do this or I'm a bad person kind of way, but in the way that this I do for me. This is going to pay long-term health benefits. This is worth doing. This is time well spent. This is time that I enjoy, kind of a way. And then you will find a way. If you let circumstances dictate the things that you do for you, it will be hard to ever develop a walking habit. I just had a friend tell me the other day that because she had really committed to her walking and her weight loss journey, she decided to jump on the treadmill when she really had work to do to prepare for a big presentation. She's like, I never would have done that in the past. And I know exactly what she means because that was me too. Just with all my little kids, I would just, oh, I can't right now, I'll do it later, and just later never comes. So just think about the obstacles, whether they're mental or physical. Maybe you're not physically able to go too far or too fast. Maybe it's just a mental barrier or a story you're telling yourself, like I was talking about earlier, or just time commitments and things like that that you are prioritizing over what you need to do for you. It's max an hour a day, time well spent. And if you have to take kids along with you, say, that's okay. And if they're toddling along on bikes or in a stroller, in a baby carrier, whatever it is, and if you can only go 15, 20 minutes because of that, it's okay. Just do what you can and it will still pay benefits. So let's talk about some of the physical and emotional benefits of walking. First of all, the reason walking is so effective for weight loss is because it puts you in a fat burning zone. Your heart rate's not going to get super high like it does with more intense exercise. And I won't go into all the science of that, but that can take you out of a fat burning zone. It can raise your cortisol levels, it stresses your body, it can stress your mind, and it can actually be really counterproductive when you're doing high intensity exercise. And walking is not that. It is relaxing to your body, it is anti-inflammatory if you're experiencing a lot of water retention, bloating, things like that. Walking is the perfect thing to do to help reduce that type of water retention, bloating, inflammation. It has so many mental health benefits. There have been some studies where they've shown that it can be as effective as antidepressants or an amazing complement to antidepressants in the treatment of depression. Now, I'm not going to go into all of that, but if you think that might apply to you, definitely look up those studies. Walking can become the ultimate me time. It's a time that you can listen to podcasts or audiobooks. Did you know that listening to fiction or reading fiction, even something like 6 minutes a day, is very stress relieving? So if you can even make 6 minutes of that walk time for listening to an audiobook that you enjoy, you will get the enjoyment of reading more books and the stress relief that comes along with that. And of course, listening to music or just being in the quiet, just being alone with your thoughts, as long as they're good thoughts, it's a great time for that. A couple of practices that I have when I go walking, I spend the first 5 minutes just thinking thoughts of gratitude. And gratitude is one of the highest energy, highest vibration energies, meaning it just makes you feel better than a lot of other kinds of thoughts that you can think. And it just kind of sets the mood and tone for your day. And some days it may be hard to think of things to be grateful for, and you may just say, well, at least I'm here. I'm up on my feet and I'm walking. And that might be your whole gratitude practice for the day. But I highly recommend that. It's something that I learned in Body Slims and I've just continued to this day. The second thing I do, also from a Body Slims practice, is I spend about 5 minutes in visualization. In Body Slims, they have you visualize like yourself at your goal weight and size and what that's going to mean for your life, because just being in a smaller body doesn't do that much. But why? Is that going to get you back to your best health, bring your self-confidence back, allow you to show up more in your own life, show up for your kids, your grandkids, the other people in your life, whatever you do for work, whatever it is you want to do, travel, anything. When you take control of your health, and especially when you just start a walking habit, it just enhances every area of your life. We travel a lot, and I absolutely love to go walking and also hiking on our trips. We look for walking paths, we look for great places to hike, and it's become a big part of our vacations. You know, I haven't been on a lot of cruises, but I know like drinking is a big thing. Well, why not walking? Why not getting off and going on some shore excursions and get out walking? Now, once you've established a walking habit, here are some tips for building on it. You can add intensity by just going a little faster, by walking hills. I have a walking route that I have to drive to get to it, but it includes a lot of hills, so I can go uphill, downhill, flat, and it's just a lot of varied terrain. And as I progressed, and once I got to my goal weight, I started jogging downhill in the shade. Kind of a lightweight when it comes to that, but even that has been enough to allow me to run in some races, something I never thought I'd do. But I do not encourage that because it can add a lot of stress to your joints and tendons. So until you're closer to your goal weight, you have a lot of miles in your legs, hold off on that. You can build up to it. And to keep it interesting, you can keep pretty much the same walking route, but maybe park somewhere different. Take it backwards. Just do something like that. But when you first start out, just get a walking route and do it over and over and over until it's easy. Then your body will adapt. Then you want to start doing something new, something harder, faster, farther, do a farther distance in the same time frame or more intensity, like adding hills. Finally, the last thing I'll touch on is just your footwear. This is the only thing that I recommend spending any kind of money on, really. Maybe a cute outfit and some good footwear. I've had a lot of brands of shoes in my day. I'm currently wearing Lululemon Beyond Feel, which I thought I was buying them just for looks, but they have turned out to be quite nice for my current feet. But your feet change over time. As women, if you're pregnant, with all my 6 pregnancies, my feet flattened out, they were wider, they got bigger, and now with going through menopause, you lose some of the padding in your feet. So I need more padded shoes than I used to. I used to really love minimal footwear, but now I need a little bit more padding. I tell you, ladies, it never ends. But just find some shoes that you put them on and you say, those are good shoes for you. So my takeaway message for you today is to just give you encouragement to start a walking habit, not just to lose weight, not just to maintain a recent weight loss, but for life, so that you can increase your odds of being able to take care of yourself and all of your needs. It can be such a joyful thing, and it will change over time with changing times and seasons, how far you can go, how fast you can go, whether you go alone or with kids in tow. All of those things can change, and you can adapt throughout your life. But if you just commit to yourself to establish this habit, it will help you with your weight loss, it will help you with lifetime weight control, and it will bring you a lifetime of joy and good health. Thanks for being here today. If this video was helpful to you, please comment, tell me if your experience with walking, if you're excited to start a walking habit, if you already have one, any tips that you've got for the rest of us, that's awesome. And subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to come to help you lose weight and keep it off for good, because that's what it's all about. A lot of people can tell you how to lose weight. I'm here to tell you how to keep it off. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.